Honda has always been in a hot and cold relationship with Formula One. They have joined, left, and returned to the series on multiple occasions. Their initial foray into Grand Prix racing in the 1960s bore some promising results, but Honda decided to focus on selling road cars instead after 1968. In the late 1980s, they powered the likes of McLaren, Williams, and even Lotus to race wins and championships. By the end of 1992, however, the Japanese economy was struggling so bad due to an asset price bubble that the company withdrew from F1. Although Honda had already officially left this series, technically that was not really the case. From 1993 on, Mugen, the engine tuner and parts manufacturer brand founded by the son of Honda's founder, supplied several F1 teams from Footwork to Lotus to Ligier, Prost, and eventually Jordan. It was very much a continuation of the Honda engine program, but without the funding a company like that could provide. Even still, Mugen found some success with Ligier and especially Jordan in 1998 and 1999. Towards the end of the decade, Honda had much more involvement in the Mugen engine project, and they had much bigger plans than that. The turn of the millennium saw a changing of the guard in Formula One, with big manufacturers coming in, to the detriment of the independent teams. Ford took over Jackie Stewart's team and ran it under the Jaguar banner. Toyota announced their intention to join the grid in 2001, before eventually settling on 2002, and BMW re-entered as a partner with Williams. Teams like Prost, Arrows, and Minardi were being squeezed out. Unsurprisingly, Honda felt that the time was right to re-enter, but this time they wanted to be more than just an engine supplier. A full-on works Honda effort, the first since 1968, was potentially in the cards if things went well. Honda hired Harvey Postlethwaite, a veteran engineer, as lead designer, and commissioned Dallara to build a test chassis to put the existing Mugen Honda engine in the back of. Postlethwaite had worked for Hesketh during the James Hunt era, designed the Wolf WR1 that won 3 races in 1977 in that team's debut season, was personally hired by Enzo Ferrari in 1981, and eventually designed some punchy underdogs for Tyrrell and Sauber in the 1990s. By all accounts, he was one of the most decorated and well-respected designers in F1. Honda had made a great hire to lead the program into existence. This test mule would run throughout 1999 in the hands of Jos Verstappen, and early returns were promising. There's a reason that starting an F1 team from scratch is a major task, but Honda, already with an engine program ready to use, could focus on their chassis instead. The Honda RA099 may not have exactly lit the world on fire in testing, but for being a new chassis under a not yet formed team, it tested extremely well, with times that would have put it in the upper midfield on arrival. Internet forums have been ablaze for a long time, rumors flying that this car was even quicker than the Ferrari and McLaren in 1999. Like most unraced F1 cars, the legend of how quick the car actually was has overshadowed the reality of the situation. By all accounts, the car was quick, but there's really no way to test that through testing times alone, considering Honda was not yet on the grid and therefore were not technically required to meet all the F1 regulations. Regardless, for Honda, these testing results showed that a full program was possible, and the likelihood of taking the grid around 2000 or 2001 was increasing. Even back then, F1 really liked their manufacturer entries. However, the promising program would soon come crashing down. In April of 1999, Honda was testing the RA099 at Barcelona, when tragically, Postlethwaite suffered a fatal heart attack. It was a shock to the entire paddock for someone who had been around for such a long time to be gone in a horrible way like that. He had been an influential and well-liked figure in the sport, and his death loomed large over Honda. Soon after, Honda shelved the RA099 and announced their intention to field factory engines for the new British-American racing team in 2000 onwards. Although numerous factors played a role in their decision, including some internal politics that led them to choose BAR over their own works project, unquestionably, Honda felt that Postlethwaite's passing hampered their effort, so much so that they felt it wasn't worth undertaking the formation of an entire F1 team without his presence there. He would have been the lead designer, and the entire brief operation remains one of the biggest what-ifs in Formula One history. Although they had a working chassis, Honda realized that the project was early enough in development for it to still be shelved and have their resources go elsewhere. Honda eventually bought out BAR for 2006 and ran it as the Honda F1 team through 2008 before again leaving, handing the team over to another legendary technical mastermind in Ross Brawn and eventually Mercedes. So what do you think? Do you think the RA099 was actually as quick as rumored? Was Postlethwaite's passing the real reason for the cancellation of the project, or were there other factors within Honda at play? In any case, the quick saga of the Honda RA099 reminds us that starting an F1 team is no easy feat, as General Motors is currently finding out. You have to really have all your ducks in a row to be ready to join the grid. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.